You are where you are. Wherever you are standing in right now, we mean that physically. We mean that you are where you are physically, spiritually, financially, mentally, emotionally. You are where you are because where you are right now is all that you have access to. And where you are right now is all that you really need because all of your power is right now. You don't have to go back in the past and clean anything up. You don't have to go back and fight all of your desires and fight all of your beliefs and try to figure out what went wrong. You just have to point in the direction that you want to go in now. Start now. Start your new life now. Start your new life from this moment on. Because this moment that you think is so reality based, this moment that you see with your eyes, this moment truly is the platform that you stand on. Think about what a platform is. Imagine when you're about to, like, when you're talking in front of people and you stand on like almost like a mini stage. That's like a platform. It's on that, and that platform is very firm. You can feel it under your feet, and so that's kind of that's the imagery that we want to really depict. You're on this platform, right? And it's from this platform that you're perceiving, you're translating vibration, and so you can translate vibration in any way because it's all up to your perspective. It's all about you. There's no one can force your hand. No one can force your perception, and so you translate reality without even knowing that you're translating reality because you just assume that what you see with your eye is real. You just assume that what you hear is real, and then that's interesting. That's really interesting because then when you think in your mind, what you see in your mind, the images that you see in your mind, you discount them. You're like, well, that's not real reality because it's not in front of me. And so we're talking to all the dreamers out there because the people who really love law of attraction and who really love manifestation because everyone knows deep down that I should be having everything that I want. I should be having the best life ever. I should be feeling good now because the satisfaction factor is now. And you know what's crazy is that even when you start meditating and you really start to understand the law of attraction and you understand that you're source energy and that you can really you can literally channel and you can embody that source energy right now, which basically means you and a source are sharing this moment. You and a source are blended into one point of attraction, right? It's not like source is going to whisk you off into another world because source knows that this world right now, right here, is where your satisfaction factor is, which is why this moment is a platform that you stand on. And so when you're a dreamer, when you're a young person and you're dreaming, it's so interesting because when you're dreaming, you're one person, and then when you come back down to reality, when you crash back down to reality, when you snap back to reality, you're a completely different person. So then you start to realize, because people start to tell you, you start to trust them. They tell you things like you can't be daydreaming all the time. You have to get your head out of the clouds. So then you start to understand. You start to take them for their word. You're like, then what I see with my eye is real, and what I see with my mind is fake. Because, for example, like when you see your parents worried about money, in your mind you create so much money. You see yourself giving your parents the money, but then when you come back to reality, you're still facing the fact that your parents don't have the money and they're arguing about it. So it's and they're worried about it. So it's just, so then you get it in your head. Then that must mean that what I see in my mind isn't real. We're saying it's so interesting because on this platform that you stand on right now, aka your now moment, you're always translating vibration. So it doesn't matter if it's in front of you or if you see it in front of, or if you're seeing it in your mind. In your mind's eye, like an image. It doesn't matter because it's all a translation of vibration. But you're calling one translation of a vibration more real than another, because when you see with your eye, you're like, it's real, so I have to give my attention to that. And so you not like a rift, but you start to really see reality, and your perception of reality isn't as expanded as it was when you were younger. Because when you were younger, you understood that when I create these images in my mind, I start to feel good, and the way that I feel when I create these images in my mind, the improvement in my emotion has nothing to do with an improvement in my reality. I'm not seeing that I have $1 billion. I'm just feeling the $1 billion, and I'm feeling the vibrational essence of having that freedom of just giving my parents whatever the money that they need, the more money that they can handle. And because of that image, I feel good. That image has affected my point of attraction. And what's so interesting is that sometimes and you know what's crazy is that it sounds like, okay, then, oh, well, I don't want to be frivolous. I don't want to be stupid. I don't want to be daydreaming. I don't want to be so enjoying my mind's images that I'm not really paying attention to reality. Because if I'm not paying attention to reality, then like, who's going to solve my problems? Because I have to pay attention to reality. I have to be realistic. And we know that you can be frivolous. You can enjoy your moment right now because your satisfaction factor is now. That's why your inner being doesn't whisk you off into another reality, because your satisfaction factor is now. It's all about what you're doing now, not about what you're doing yesterday, not about what you're doing tomorrow. It's about now. So if you're creating images in your mind and you feel good because as a result of those images, then you're affecting your point of attraction, and then you get something different. Because this is how it goes pretty much, right? So you imagine you want money. So imagine you're living in the absence of money. You're like, oh, you have $1 billion. You're like, oh, I wish I could buy that. And then right in that moment, you're experiencing the contrast. So from that contrast, it's born a desire, which is, I wish I had more money. And so But in that moment, you still on the platform that you stand, what your ability to translate with your eye, what you can see in your bank balance is that I don't have money. I don't have a path to money. I don't have the money that I want, and so naturally. But you know what's interesting is that your source took off without you and became the expanded version of you that was rich, that was more rich, that included the richness that you just asked for. But here you are, right? And you're standing in this reality and you're like, well, I don't have money. Where's my money? I don't have my money. I wish I had more 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 money. And that sounds logical, because we're like, yeah, I don't have enough money. But we're saying, well, your job is to realize that when you say things like, I'm not having money, that's why you don't have money. Because now, instead of being the expanded version, you know that because when you say things like I want money, you don't feel good. You say those things, you say I want money out of your awareness of the absence of what you want. So then there's no shift going on in your vibration, because you're not trying to find the feeling place of the money. You're just accepting the fact that you don't have money, that you're scared that you don't have the money, and you just keep. But someone who's very realistic, they would say, well, what am I supposed to do? What do you expect me to do? Because I don't have any money. If I had more money, if I could just see more money right now with my eye, then I would feel different. We're saying, but that's a trap. That's a trap. You're in trouble if that's how you think, because when reality right now, when all you can do is sift through the reality that you have right now, then you really make so much more work for yourself, because you have to get really good at seeing a reality the way that you want it to be. And we say it's so much more work, because when you realize that everything is a translation of vibration, and who's to say what's real anyway? So there's no true reality, there's no truth. So you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna stop telling the truth of my life, and I'm gonna just go in my mind and translate a new reality. And but here's the thing, this is a distinction. When you translate this reality, you're not it's not a fake image, it's a real image, not a pipe dream. You're literally translating what's not seen yet with your eye, but you're translating in your mind's eye. And so now we want to take that daydreaming, that imagination, to the next level, because you know what the real benefit, because the real benefit that you can reap and that you truly learn to harness when you're daydreaming truly comes from the vibrational essence that you can feel. So for example, imagine like you're living in a housing experience that you don't want to live in. So in your mind's eye, because you're actually you're not making these images, you're really translating them, because you have to turn the faucet on. You have to really get calibrated, and then the images start to come. You have to achieve a frequency, and then the images start to flood in. So you see yourself in this mansion, and you feel the space of it, you feel the breath of it, you feel just how different it feels to live in a house that's detached, and every little detail because you built it from scratch, and you enjoy the hardware, and you can see the walls, you can see the painting, you can see the very uniqueness of it, and just how it feels to be in that house. So maybe in the past, before you watch this video, you understood that, okay, when I'm daydreaming, I just have to stay in the image. But now what we're saying is, when you're in the image, what do you feel? When you see yourself walking in that house with the house, what do you feel? What does it feel like to walk in the house? Find the vibrational essence of your desire, because imagination can get really boring, because if you're not affecting how you feel right now, if you're using daydreaming as a way to make what you want come to you faster, then that's not the tea, that's not the work, because it doesn't work. It's ulterior, it gets boring. But when you're imagining and you're enjoying the vibrational essence of your desire, meaning you're in this house and you're feeling what it's like to be in this house, and you're feeling good as a result of it, then you know what's crazy? Law of attraction responds to your vibration, which is your point of attraction. And how you feel, it literally is an indication of what your vibration, what your offering is. So when you feel good because of you're in this house, guess what a law of attraction thinks? Law of attraction doesn't know if you're actually in a mansion, or if you feel like you have a mansion. So now law of attraction is like, okay, this person they're steadily in a mansion, so now the mansion has to start to come together. And so that's what you're the witnesser of all the parts coming together, the cooperative components coming together, because you don't have to bang it all into place. It's already done. That's the thing. Everything that you want is already completed, but now you have to find a way to take your eyes off of reality. You have to take your eye off the platform that you stand on, which is the fact that you don't have money. Because you're on this platform, you're translating this physical reality, which is not the only reality, but it's not like it's not the only reality. It's that reality just means so much more. Manifestation means so much more than what you can see with your eye, because your emotions still count as a reality, because your emotions are also translating vibration. So you really just have to alter. You have to really expand what it truly means. You have to expand your perception. What does it mean? Well, when you say something is reality, what do you mean by that? It means where I've been. It means from this now platform that I'm standing on, this is how I'm doing. This is my progress. This is the snapshot that I'm taking. This is how I'm doing financially. And we're saying, but like when that's the only reality that you're looking at, then you're in trouble. But where do you put your eyes then? Where do you put your eyes if you're not looking at reality? You conjure the image in your mind. You receive the image in your mind. You get so infatuated, enamored with the image in your mind, that you become estranged to reality. You don't recognize reality anymore, because you're like, it's not like you know what it is. It's like you keep looking the other way because momentum it ensues. So now when you look at reality, it's almost like you hop back into your mind so fast because you're more practiced at seeing it in your mind. Because you know what's crazy is that if someone when you were younger told you that, you know, when that you're daydreaming, you're doing the most productive thing that you ever could do. If you learn that as a kid, your reality would have caught up to your fantasy world. Your reality would have caught up to your imagination. You're daydreaming, but it's okay that's not, because it hasn't, because contrast is truly the best thing ever, because now you understand more than ever. Now when you're daydreaming, you're going to do it in a way that's so stable, and that you're going to not only get results, but you're going to feel better as a result of it. Because who wants to wait for reality? Who wants to wait until you're in New York to dream about New York? Because you know what's crazy is that, like, imagine you're going to New York next week. Imagine you're going to a country next week, right? And all the time you already bought the ticket, you're already ready. But the whole week leading up to that trip, you're just thinking about that trip, but you're not even there. Isn't that interesting? You're not there, but yet you're enjoying it in your mind. You're like, well, I can't wait to the beach. But we're like, but you're daydreaming. You're daydreaming in a way that seems so illogical because you already have the means to end that you want, meaning you already know the plane ticket. But we're like, what about something like a mansion that you don't have any idea? We're like, well, when you go into your daydream now and you see yourself there and you find the vibrational essence, meaning you start to appreciate what you're seeing in your mind, meaning you're in this house, you talk about what would the floors feel like, what does it feel like to be in the house, what does it feel like to be in this daydream, what does it feel like? And then when you talk about what it feels like, then you begin to enhance your literally how you feel right now. But there's a danger to daydreaming, which is when you're daydreaming and you sort of snap back to reality, it can either enhance your daydreams, can basically enhance how you feel, make you believe in them more, meaning it gives you more momentum, so you start to practice it more. So when you mean believe, we mean it just becomes more practice, you trend there more, so it's easier to go there versus the other the true downside, which is it lets you know, or it makes the crevice between where you are and where you want to be even more. So imagine you're in a mansion and you're dreaming about your mansion, like, oh, it feels so good. But now when you step out of that image and you come crashing back down to reality, you can't help but notice that now you're really not in a mansion. You're really living in government housing. Now you're really living in this small place that you really don't like. But we're like, now you know too much, because now you understand that I'm on this platform and I'm translating the reality, and when I and so it doesn't matter what I'm translating with my eye. It completely, like, you start playing this game really differently, because it's just a game of matching frequencies. It's like literally just you match frequencies, because everything that you want has to come in, but you just have to be better at not focusing on reality. Because friends, you're focusing on reality, you're telling the truth about where you are, and it's really shooting yourself in the foot, because you keep crashing back down to reality. You keep noticing that what I see with my eye and what I see in my mind are so different. You keep looking for progress, but we're like, look for the progress in the emotions and how you feel. And so imagine like you're at the end of your day, right? And imagine like only one small good thing that happened to you in that entire day. That's what we would focus on. That's what we would focus on, because the more you focus on it, the more you train yourself up to that upper frequency, and the more easier it is to get there. That's the thing. That's the thing about trending, is that wherever you trend it's easier to get there. And so that's really it brings us to a really interesting place, because we really understand, what am I giving my attention to? What am I giving my attention to? Am I giving my attention to the reality that I'm seeing in right now? Am I spending more time translating the reality that I'm seeing with my eyes, or am I spending more time translating the reality in my mind? Because we're like, who's to say what's the true reality? That's truly the message, is who's to say what reality is. So now do what feels better for you. Because here's the thing, imagine you're in that situation where you're like, well, I want money, but I kind of notice I don't have the money. So where's the money? I want money. We're like, well, the problem and the solution are two different frequencies. You have to get off the problem frequency and enter the solution frequency. When you're on the solution frequency, you start to get feedback, you start to get evidence, you start to get impulses, things start to move from that vibration reality into the physical form. And we're like, it's like that with everything though. So we're like, well, you have to find a way to get off of reality, you have to find a way to distract yourself. And so everything that we've ever said, 100% of your work is to go into that frequency that allows it to achieve that frequency. And today we're saying, well, you can do it through all that through daydreaming, because when you're daydreaming, you're truly well, let's not say daydreaming. You're making the image, you're translating the image, you're receiving the image, you're being imagined on. Source is daydreaming to you, is sending you the image, but what is it sending the image of? It's sending the image of a reality that's not yet seen with your eye. But we're saying everything that you want right now is a vibrational version anyway, so you have to find a way to enjoy it. And in your enjoying of it, the momentum increases because you're in your appreciation of, for example, the feeling of money, of how amazing it feels to receive money. Then the momentum starts to speed up. You can actually speed it up. Your foot's on the gas, and so things just start getting so much fun. But you never want to walk away from a process, even if it's daydream, feeling empty. Because you know what's crazy is that in feeling empty, like what that really means is that you know what's crazy? Whoa, because you're not looking for the vibrational version of your desire. You're not looking for the vibrational desire. You're trying to force it in your mind. You're using it ulterior motive. You're like, yes, I just want this desire because when I have it, I'm gonna feel so much better. So I'm gonna see my mind. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. Go through all the works. And we're like, but that's not the process. Like, you should really be feeling good now. You should be feeling fulfilled now. You should be feeling safe now. And then you come back to reality, and you become so strange. You're like, because in my mind I'm translating a whole different reality that I can't see with my eye yet. But we're telling it it's not how it's always gonna be. It's always gonna be like that. You're always gonna be seeing something in your mind's eye that's not in reality yet. But we're like, don't discount the image in your mind. Spend more time there. Spend more time, because you're in the vibration reality. You're receiving images from the vibration reality. And when you feel good, you've achieved vibrational harmony with something in your vortex, because you're the one who put everything in there. You're the one who's literally directing source, and source just does all the groundwork for you, because you're the pointer, and wherever you point, all the energy that creates worlds literally goes right in that direction. It runs in that direction just to, stand on its head, to give you everything that you want, because you truly are leading edge. You truly are. You're the full image. You are exactly who you came to be.